I think what we learned in the last couple quarters is that the US economy is actually not necessarily ready for a super strong dollar. And we saw trade data that was terrible. We saw GDP that came out negative. Forget about the consumer for a second. I think at 104 on the dollar, why are you going to set up a business in New York when you can go set up in Singapore or Frankfurt at a 30% discount to where it was a year ago? That's a pretty big deal. And I think every American worker basically got 20 to 30% more expensive over the last year when the dollar index rallied.
And when you think about, what's going on in the economy, the data has been, relatively muted. When you think about, where we are, when you look at the labor markets, I like looking at U6, which is the underemployment rate, and you see that hovering around 10.8%, which is pointing to, 1 in 9 Americans are still underemployed. So,
Right.
you don't see a ton of strength in the labor market. You still see some pretty significant gaps there. And then the retail sales data that has come out recently and the PPI data this morning still points to, no signs of inflation picking up in the marketplace. So that should be pretty supportive for yields, in the near term. Our best estimate at this point is for them to start the rate hike cycle sometime in September or December. But it's going to be very dependent upon how the economic data shapes up over the course of the next few months. In terms of bond yields, we expect them to stay anchored, below 2.5% or so.